right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Today is Thursday, January 4th, 2024. It is 12:38 p.m. Today is a beautiful, sunny, partly cloudy day. It is cool breezes, warm rays from the sun, perfect day. It was every intention of mine and then some to record an episode of TTIO on the first day of the brand new year. Unfortunately, that did not come to fruition, as very shortly after Christmas, I caught a nasty, I want to say it was a fever. I was extreme, or fever or cold. I was extremely cold and clammy. All my muscles hurt. I had a raving headache. It was hard to hear out of my right ear, which is kind of specific, but it becomes important later on. And just a mild cough, nothing too crazy. It was okay. I was on a Christmas vacation, so I was able to sleep and heal. By the way, I hope everybody listening to this had a good Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and a happy new year. I hope you are starting the new year off right with good intentions and vibes, even if you have not exactly stuck to your New Year's resolutions yet, and there's no point in quitting. It's only the first month, It's not already over. This will be your year. How about that? However, it is not mine, because shortly after that whole little debacle, about a week or so after, I finally returned to work on Tuesday after my break. Yesterday was Wednesday. Nothing was too out of the ordinary, but something did happen, which was the not being able to hear out of my right ear, which was kind of mild. It was just, things were sort of muffled. It spread to my other ear, my left ear. I didn't know it could do that. So it did that. It didn't make me feel good, but it was just things were slightly muffled, so it was nothing I couldn't handle. Went to bed to work the next morning, which was supposed to be today, but I'm not at work. Woke up in the middle of the night, and the whole left side of my head was throbbing in pain, and moved from the right side, where there was barely any pain, to the left side, and now it was excruciating. The small bit of skin behind your ear, right directly behind your earlobe, that was an immense pain, and so was the string of muscle that goes from there all the way down to your neck and to the center of the top of your torso. That was also an excruciating pain. It almost felt like as if there was a balloon behind that muscle being pumped up with air that couldn't escape. That's the best way I could describe it. Mostly because that was a dream that I had that awoke me up to that pain. There was like a balloon getting tighter and tighter, and I woke up and the pain was real. So after about an hour of walking around, kind of pacing and roaming, not really knowing what to do, because it's 2 in the morning, and 2, I don't want to go to any hospital emergency room. They're gonna charge the ever living mess out of me. It's gonna be terrible. I not burped, but the muscles that you flex to burp. It's almost like you stretch your throat backwards. If you've never if you've never done that, if you've never done like a burp like that, like on command, it might be harder to know what I'm describing. But flexing that muscle, every time I did it, the pain got unbelievably worse, but the pressure would relieve itself tenfold. So I did that a few times until the pressure was completely gone, but the pain was still there. So at that point, I was just done with everything. I guess downed 6 ibuprofens. Then I called into work, and I went back to bed. Until I woke up, and I built a habit, because I wasn't able to hear it in my ear. I built a habit of sticking my finger in my ear, kind of wiggling it around so I could hear for a little bit when people were talking to me, through my right ear. And I guess I just started to naturally, unconsciously do that to my left ear too, because I was kind of tossing and turning and sleeping during the night, and I didn't stick my finger in my ear per se. I just kind of like laid it on top, like I laid it on top to like wiggle around and massage it, not directly stick it in, but just like massage like the opening. And I pulled my finger away. There's so much blood. There's so much blood, kind of caught off guard. I didn't know what it was, but I noticed that I didn't feel any pain anymore at all whatsoever. But I didn't notice the blood, so it was like a sign of like relief, and also I guess I wasn't really that concerned. I was just like, okay, well, whatever this was, I guess this was the pressure. So I got up, cleaned myself up, had an antibiotic, and I went back to bed. Described my symptoms and everything to somebody I knew close that they are fluent in the medical field, and they had let me know very promptly that that they believed that I had ruptured my eardrum open, which would explain a lot, most notably why I can't hear anything out of my left ear at all. The pain is basically no longer there. My You can hear it. I'm still congested, slightly sinusy. I'm still not over this sickness. It's been about a week and a half now. It's really pissing me off, but that's not the star of the show today. The star of the show today is that my left ear has stopped working. Almost completely, not completely, but almost completely. It's so muffled that it's not a usable instrument anymore. That sense is not, it's not usable anymore. Uh, my right ear is faring a bit better, but it's not by much at all, by any means whatsoever. Uh, Not making me feel great, particularly. I'm glad it's my ears and not something like my eyes. If it was my eyes, I'd be losing my mind right now and freaking the hell out. But it's just my ears. It's not just my ears, because my ears are important. Especially since one of my New Year's resolutions is to watch more movies, listen to more CDs, and read more. And reading's boring. No offense to reading, I like reading, but reading's boring to get started off with. I usually need a tune or two to get me into the mood. Uh, it's not like any of that isn't possible. It's just not enjoyable. It's only in one ear, and it's very muffled. And I've been wearing headphones all day. Not headphones. They're like these flat discs that lay over my ear. They kind of fold over, because that's really the only way I can actually like hear anything. And if I'm just walking around my quiet house while everything sounds muffly, it's just gonna drive me insane. So I'm not gonna do that. The point is, my left ear is out of commission for I don't know how long. I don't know how long a ruptured eardrum takes to cure. Um, I don't know if it's a week. I don't know if it's a month. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take to reassociate itself. I feel like I'm getting some gears moving. I haven't really said much of anything today. Now that I'm like talking, I don't feel bad. I feel a little drowsy, but I don't feel bad. Now I'm kind of talking, my right ear is clearing up a little bit more. So my right ear is my concern. My right ear, because if anything was going to happen to it, I feel like it would have happened to it by now. Um, my left ear's shot though. I was kind of postponing to TO in order to do it when I'm not sick. Because on another announcement note, Tatio is now officially listenable on Spotify. You can go to Spotify right now, look up Tatio, and scroll down past a few Spanish songs and artists here and there, and then you'll be able to find Tatio, and you'll be able to listen to Tatio on Spotify from now on. There's only one episode uploaded there right now. That is the last episode, the Blu-ray collection episode. It wants me to format them in seasons, so I was like, okay, all the episodes from 2023 are season one, but I'm only gonna upload that one episode there from season one, because it'll be a whole hassle to get them all on there, and it'll be unorganized, and the upload date won't be the same, and it'll just mess with my brain, my mind even. So just there's an episode on there already right now if you want to listen to it. If you didn't see the Blu-ray episode, good little episode. I just review all the discs that I had up until that date, and I give a short word about each and every one of them. Now Nothing too crazy. I say nothing too crazy. I think that's actually the longest episode I ever recorded. Uh, but from now on, any episodes that are uploaded right here to YouTube.com or right here to Spotify, wherever you're listening, will also be uploaded to the sister site, aka YouTube or Spotify, wherever you are listening. They're both on Spotify and YouTube from now on. Any episodes from this date on and forward will be uploaded to both sites, and I hope you enjoy. I just did not want my first real episode that I record and put onto Spotify be one where I'm sick, because I don't want to give off impressions that I just sound like this all the time to our new viewers. But I don't really have any choice, because I'm home from work today. I have nothing to do. I usually do 9 hour shifts at work, so whenever I go to work, like, my day is pretty much taken up. So I don't really plan much to else to do, and I haven't planned anything for tomorrow, my day off. So I'll just have 2 days off, which is nice. But I haven't planned anything for tomorrow, because I usually plan my days out the night before. So honestly, I'm just a little bit lost. But to get this episode 2 right out of the way, my intentions were for the next episode to be a 2023 movie catch up with the last 3 movies that I saw in theaters. That being in this order, the way that I've seen them: Oppenheimer, Godzilla minus one, and The Boy and the Heron, which would have been a perfect episode. And I still want to do it, but I want to wait a day or two when my voice is better. Maybe when I've had some more time to think about the movies. But it would have been perfect, because they're all movies that take place around the World War II era. And they fit beautifully into each other. They're all amazing movies. Oppenheimer, it's not that it's a less of an amazing movie. It's just something that doesn't exactly appeal to me. I definitely would love to give it a rewatch. It's not something that I am interested in buying on physical right now. I know that it started a physical media pseudo renaissance of sorts. It's not exactly getting everybody crazy about physical media, but it definitely got some people thinking about it, because physical media sales are kicking up at this very last moment, which is funny, because it's also this time at the end of the 2020 and the beginning of 2024 also happens to be just around the exact same time where a lot of stores are dropping out of selling physical media. So it's a bit of a craze. I have a feeling that physical media will be definitely taking a turn, sort of in similar vein to like vinyl. It's not like a household like common thing anymore. People don't really have it like laying around, but hardcore people do. People who are really good who are really advent evident fans, people who are big fans of music. They have records. They usually have records of their favorite artists, and usually like a suitcase player or something like that, or if they're an audiophile, then they have a turntable and the whole setup. I'm not particularly too fond of records myself. I think they're beautiful. I think they're big, and they're lovely and they're interesting. But I prefer CDs. That's just my choice of physical media when it comes to music. But I know people. Some people's choice would be records, but I feel like Blu-rays and 4K UHDs and just DVDs, for that matter, and boxes and all that, that will quickly follow the physical media. Not physical media, but like the sort of retro kind of, like, there's gonna be like a big nostalgia wave boom for the mid 2000s, like there was for the 80s and the 2010s. I feel like that in the 2030s there'll be a big nostalgia boom for the mid 2000s, and along with that will come we'll see more and more physical releases. Like right now it's going right now physical media. From now on, when I say physical media, I mean just Blu-rays and 4Ks. So sorry about not clarifying that earlier, but physical media kind of going into, it's slowing down and it's ramping down, hunkering down into its niche collector kind of it's collector niche. It's gone from mainstream to kind of like outdated, but somehow for some reason they still update it to now like Best Buy gets dropped out of it. Walmart bought up like some chunk of the market to distribute it, but I doubt that they're going to do much with it, especially since they're dropping out of selling Xbox games. I did hear rumors that GameStop will be stepping in to selling physical media, which that will be nice, considering that most games are being sold digitally now. Anyways, I was having a conversation with a friend last night that almost it seems like there could be a way that GameStop would rebrand into just a store, kind of, they could call it like G Stop or something like that, since they already basically don't sell much stuff at all. They mainly just sell like knickknacks and like little anime doohickeys and Funko Pops and stuff like that. And they're basically just turning into which is like, okay, that's whatever. I like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I want to like so bad because I love walking into and seeing all the stuff that I like, but buying from and something, it just irks me. I just hate it. It's the same thing with Hot Topic. They just ask you too many questions. The employees are almost never nice, or they're always way too nice to try to get you to get something. I just hate it. I just hate it. I just want to like get my stuff and leave. I want the checkout process to be as emotionless as Walmart, you know. I want it to be like that like level of employees don't care. I don't want them to be mean. I just don't want to interact with them. Not that they're bad people. It's just they clearly don't want to be there, and it's bumming me out. You know, I want to buy my $10 CD and my $15 Blu-ray, and I just want to like leave and go to the food court. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a feel. They're probably like standalone Five stores, but usually I only see them in malls. Barnes and Noble one. That's the store I want to visit more in the new year. It's basically like Fi if it went to if instead of dropping out of high school and became a pothead, it went to college and got a degree, but it still embellishes in all the things that made its youth special. Um, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I feel like physical media, it's going into the collector's niche instead of just like watching a movie and then usually like a few months later buying the $10 DVD version of it as a family. Usually you just watch it and then you wait for it to come out on streaming, or very soon what I feel like it's going to happen, because streaming and theatrical release is being done simultaneously, because there's almost no reason to not do it like that. People don't like the theaters anyway, so it just makes sense to release on streaming so people could watch the movie immediately at home, especially with all their friends, because their friends are going to watch it more than once, and people who make edits and downloads and fan made things of it watch it over and over and over again. And that's really all you need. You just need to watch a ad or two, or just leech off of a subscription that's just kind of boiling in the background of somebody's wallet. But for the people who want like the theatrical experience, they could just still go there. I feel like a lot of theaters will fall, just like a lot of malls have fallen. But just like malls, I feel like theaters will always still be around, despite the demand not exactly being there. They're just always going to be around, even though it seems like a lot of them close down, and a lot of them do. But there's usually always one or two lying around where you don't think that they are. So I'm okay with that. And physical media will, instead of becoming the thing that you buy a few months after seeing your new favorite movie, it'll just be a collector's thing. It's like if you really do love the movie, it'll go into production. Usually as a box set, it'll come with a couple knickknacks. Like you always had like the ultimate or the collector's edition of like a movie. Came with more special features. Usually came with an extended cut, a director's commentary, which is really, I think, the best special feature on the planet. Was a director's commentary. Those are always amazing, unless they're just done by the director and nobody else. Usually, you gotta get the director and either somebody else who worked on the movie, or at least like the main actor or something like that. It's usually my favorite kind of commentary. If you ever want a depressing commentary, listen to the commentary the Criterion Collection, Fantastic Mr. Fox, because it's just Wes Anderson sitting in a room and it just makes you really sad. But also it's Wes Anderson, so you're not really like lonely. It's not. It's switch that around. It's not sad. It just feels lonely, and it's a little depressing, especially coming directly out of watching the Sonic the Hedgehog movie commentary. Which yes, I bought. I bought the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I don't think they're that bad. I kind of like them. They're kind of neat little fun little things. And I had the director's commentary playing in the background of my house for a few days just for like some background noise. And it's Ben Schwartz and Jeff Fowler, the director, and then the actor of Sonic. It's very interesting to watch those two kind of hit it off, because one's coming from an active an acting standpoint who hasn't seen much of the movie, who's seen much of the movie but not all of it, and then somebody who's more business and creativity oriented, and they kind of fill in the gaps of each other's knowledge, and it's very fun. That's how a director's commentary should be in my head. I keep getting off topic. Um, physical media collector's thing. It'll come with a bunch of knickknacks. It'll come with a bunch of more directors esque curated doohickeys and whatnot. It'll always be on Blu-ray because DVDs are just too free form. Companies want Blu-rays because you have encrypted sectors and blah 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 blah. Just things that can make it so that it's harder to pirate, harder to rip. And you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that because I don't need to pirate. I don't need to rip it. I don't need to share with anybody. I have the copy. I own a copy of the movie, and that's really all I care about. Because you can not let me. You can jerry rig up the the Blu-ray disc so it can't play in anything but a verified Blu-ray player. You know what? I'm completely fine with that. Just as long as I know the movie is on there and it will play on a Blu-ray player, I am totally fine with that. As long as I have a copy that they can't modify or take away from me. Uh, Home Alone fans out there, I don't know if you watched the Disney Plus watch Home Alone on Disney Plus lately, but I heard I don't know how true this is because I don't have Disney Plus. I don't really. There's not really a lot there on for me, maybe except for The Simpsons. But I already own all the seasons of The Simpsons that I would want. Uh, Not sure if you noticed, but I heard that somebody took the Trump scene out of Home Alone 2. Regardless of your opinions on Trump, uh, how many times are we just gonna take away like little things that happen in movies that just make people look like they're insane? Like imagine talking to somebody and saying, "Hey, do you remember the Trump scene from Home Alone 2?" And they're like, "No, what are you talking about? I just watched Home Alone the other day. I've never seen the Trump scene in it." Now you just look crazy. How often is that going to happen for dead actors, for controversial actors? You know, we're all waiting for the Epstein list to get revealed. How many actors are going to get cut out of movies then? You know what I'm saying? Like how much crazy shit's gonna happen? I heard there was a lot of actors, a lot of politicians on that list. It's going to be unbelievable. Um, Terrible, terrible thing, by the way. The Jeffrey Island situation, absolutely disgusting. Glad that guy is. Uh, Not around to hurt any more children. That's just like pure evil, you know what I'm saying? Uh, did I get off topic again? Yeah, okay. Physical media is gonna be like vinyl. Okay, that's it. That's my last statement is because I just keep talking about other more interesting things. So it's clearly that topic is over. I'm really trying to not veer off conversation because I'll start something and then I'll never finish it. Uh, and I don't want to piss people off by starting a conversation that they think is going to be interesting and then move into something else that's not interesting to them. So I gotta really lock in, you know. I gotta like stay with something, finish it, and then move on to the next thing. But I have a feeling if I keep veering off, then the thing I was talking about in the first place, either wasn't worded right, or it was worded poorly and became very boring, very quickly. Man, um, I almost want to do the review of the three movies right now, but I don't want to force somebody to wait through 22 minutes to hear my thoughts on all of the movies because I'm afraid that they'll click off. So I'm going to hold off on that until the next episode. And I'm going to try to talk about some of the New Year's resolutions that I am attempting to withhold. It's been harder because I've just been so unbelievably sick these past 4 days. It's been hard to really focus to get anything done, but I have stuck to them. Number one is no soda. I've already gone. I did one year. I did a New Year's resolution where I said no soda for the entire year, and I did. I actually did it successfully. Uh, and and remember the whole year I just felt like great. I never felt sluggish. I never felt any sort of like terribleness. Never felt drowsy. I never felt groggy. I never felt under the weather particularly. You know, uh, I haven't been sick in the past 4 or 5 ish years up until like the end of this year. So maybe I don't know if that's my sign. I don't know if it's like the sickness is finally caught up, or if it's just a sign that my body isn't as strong as it used to be. Uh, but I'm gonna try to get it under control no matter what because I do want to lose a little bit of weight. No particular goal this year. I just would like to see some visual results, and I would like to know that my weight isn't growing in the background. Instead, I would either rather it plateau or if it can drop down a little bit. And cutting out soda is definitely a good start. Because this is it's not just that it's a bunch of sugar that you don't realize it's going into your body. Have you ever looked at the back of a soda bottle? It's like 150 200% of the amount of sugar you would need in an entire day in one bottle. And nobody just drinks one bottle of soda. Nobody sips out that throughout the entirety of the day. You always have like one or two. You'll have like one in the afternoon, like chill and play a game with, and you have another one with dinner, at the very very least. So none of that. I'm not doing sparkling waters either. I was gonna replace it with sparkling waters, but I noticed a trend. Whenever I would drink a sparkling water, it'd make my tummy feel funny, give me some gas, didn't make me feel particularly good, and I'd have heartburn frequently. And then I stopped, and I noticed that all of that just completely ceased to exist. Uh, when you excuse me, when you cut something out of your life, be sure to pay particular attention to your body, because you're never going to notice feeling better. You're only going to because you're never going to feel better. You're just going to have a lack of feeling bad, so it's going to be very hard to catch on to. But when you notice something going away, like a random chest pain, heartburn, like a tingliness in like one of your limbs that's constantly there. If you notice it just goes away one day, start immediately listing all the things that you just cut out of your life, and then never reintroduce it again. Or if you do reintroduce it again, never let it be a permanent thing that sits around as passive as something like sparkling water or an energy drink in the morning or something like that, because that really messed me up, That really effed me up. And I'm glad I learned that sparkling water is just not for my body. For some people it doesn't affect them at all. Please remember that if something works for you and it doesn't work for something else, or something doesn't work for you but it does seem to be working for something else, someone else, our bodies are so unbelievably different. So if somebody says that Diet Coke gives them a tummy ache, and you're like, no, Diet Coke doesn't give you a tummy ache, it's a conspiracy theory about sweeteners, then it's not about you, okay? It's not about you. Our bodies are completely different. The most common allergy on the planet is a peanut allergy, and the most common symptom for that is blowing up like a fucking balloon if you accidentally eat a peanut. And some people can down an entire jar of peanut butter and be completely fine, and some people, if they even waft a peanut within a mile, they'll die. So our bodies will never ever ever be a semblance of the amount of same. Please, for the love of God, let this be the year that you listen to your body. Introduce new things into your life that you never thought you would introduce. Take away things that you never thought that you could live without. And just pay attention to what your body does. Because your body speaks to you so unbelievably clearly what is good and what is bad for you. And what it likes and what it dislikes. And it will tell you. And if you take care of it, you'll live to be 100. And it won't be depressing. Because if you could do that, then you could do a billion other things in your life that make it way more enjoyable and way more happy. So please, for the love of God, something makes you feel like shit and you already feel like shit, just stop doing everything. Just drink water for a week and have nothing but like sliced bread with butter on it, and then see what the hell happens to you. And you're probably going to feel great. And if you don't feel great, that means you have an allergy to gluten because you're eating nothing but bread and butter. Fuck. I still got this nasty cough. I don't know if you could hear it. That's a bit of a joke there because I know you can hear it. Other New Year's resolutions. Want to try to bike ride, not every day, but I want to make an effort to acknowledge it every day. The perfect time to bike ride, at least after the winter time, is about 4 p.m. That at that point you have about of an hour period of just like a nice sunsetty hour. The sun isn't too bright. It's kind of below the trees. It's not in your way at all. You'll get some beautiful looking skies on the way home. You can wrap it all up at 4:50, and then you can get home before dark very safely. And that's my favorite time to bike ride. I can't make an effort to bike ride every day, especially when I'm starting out the year like this. I would gladly bike ride today if it wasn't for the fact that my ears are all stuffed up. And the only problem I have with that is if there's a car that's like riding up behind me, I'm not going to be able to hear it. And the side view mirrors on my bike don't exactly do a lot for me if somebody's headlights aren't on. And I ride around in the exact hour that people don't usually turn their headlights on. And I also, funnily enough, ride through rush hour when people are usually coming home. But I usually say either way. It's something I'm not willing to risk. but it's not the most important thing is I'm not doing it out of laziness. I'm doing it out of caution, and I'm doing it like I know that it's good for me. I know that I want to do it, and I'm going to do it, but not right now. I can't do it. I could much more over go for a walk. That might be something I do, but I don't know. We'll see. I much prefer a bike ride. I like how far I can get on a bike ride. I can usually I can bike for like an hour and a half. I can usually walk for 45 minutes to an hour, you know. It's usually the kind of I can bike longer than I can walk. It's also more enjoyable for me that way. Because less eye contact with neighbors to wave hi to them and say, "Oh, how you doing?" Not that I hate my neighbors. It's just I want to talk. You know, I'm tired of talking to people. I'm so sick of talking to people. Nothing against them. Those are all great, good people. Bike ride every day. I want to make an effort to start winding down at 9 p.m. I have an alarm set on my phone now for 9 p.m. to start winding down because I really do want to improve the quality of my sleep. Not that it's bad particularly, but surely there's no harm in staying away from screens for an hour before I go to bed. Because I'll do it. I'll stay on the screen right before I go to bed, and I usually seem fine. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, either it's nothing, or imagine the wonders that could happen for me if I uh, stay off the screen for an hour before I go to bed. Imagine the ungodly quality, the ungodly great quality sleep that I could have before I go to bed. You know, something I've just been thinking about. Um, Trying to read more too. I'm reading this Loomis book on head and hands. I didn't realize most of it was just about the head, and the last like 40-ish pages were about hands, which was actually the only thing I'm interested in because I'm not interested in drawing hyper realistic heads. I am interested in drawing better heads and starting off at more realistic heads is probably a better start. I know, but it's not something, not the way I want to go about it. For me, I'd much rather hands because I'm not great at drawing hands, and I could probably learn a thing or two. I'm more interested in figure drawing for all it's worth because I already like figure drawing a lot. I already love drawing figures and stuff like that. I already have a great interest in it. I don't think I'm too bad at it, but I would like to be better, you know, type deal, type business. Uh, can't say I'm big on drawing books. I'm more on the art of books, and I'm more on reference books than I am anything else. I'm always trying to learn, but I'm not trying to learn from people who are actively trying to teach me. The best way that I found I learn is just by paying attention in very passive situations. So I'm gonna try to get through the hands section by the end of the month to crack open the figure drawing for all it's worth, just to see what I could pick apart from out there. See if I'm missing anything that man is beaming, because I'll gladly read through all the words when it comes to like the exercises of like measuring and stuff like that. It's just too slow and hand holdy for me. I gotta hit the ground running, you know. I'm a trial and error kind of guy. I'm not a understand the fundamentals and then trial and error kind of guy. I just gotta start hitting my head against the wall and figure out how the room looks, you know. Um, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to work more every day. I've passively mentioned it in the past that I am working on a movie-esque type project of sorts. I'm trying the entirety of December. I took a break from working on the movie at all because it was just quite frankly frustrating me, the lack of progress I was making. So I just figured I'd stop all progress and I'll attempt to make progress for a month to see how I felt. Probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I feel amazing now. I'm more excited to return to the movie. I may have built a habit, a worse habit of just fucking around, I guess you could say, just like looking on YouTube and playing games and stuff like that kind of passively, because I spent a whole month doing nothing but just having fun. But my motivation is through the roof now, which is more important. I don't feel bad for having fun on my computer versus working on it, but now I have to, you know, kind of like reposition myself and kind of lock back in. But that's not a problem. The problem because I could reteach myself anything. The one thing that's hard for me to get is motivation because people motivating me doesn't actually motivate me. Me motivating myself doesn't actually motivate me. The only thing that motivates me is like music. And I was not big on listening to music in the month of December. But now I kind of got my groove back. I like to feel, um, or at least more so than before. So I got to work on that a little bit every day. Uh, Admittedly, I had a problem shopping on Amazon, the online retailer Amazon. Just so many fucking great deals on movies and shit. Stuff you'd see at the store for 40, $30 is on there for like 15, 20 plus some shipping and tax. So basically the same price. A little bit less than that though. Just addicted, just unbelievably addicted, especially when they just tell you that something's almost out of stock when even though it really isn't. There's no way it's ever out of stock. It's Amazon, and that's the last chance to ever get it. You know, I guess I spent so I'm not even gonna count how much money I spent on there. It just makes me nauseous the idea of it. I have a small list of items that I would like to purchase at some given time in the future on there, but for now I removed my debit card information. I have removed the app from my phone. I had a terrible habit of just looking at things I wanted to buy while I was waiting, while I was on the toilet. It was my version of TikTok. I don't have TikTok on my phone. I don't have YouTube on my phone, but I did have Amazon, and that's even worse because I pour money into that. Uh, got rid of it off my phone. Got my bank and payment details off of my profile. The only way I can buy anything through there now, because I just canceled my card and I'm getting a new one. The only way I could buy anything on there now is by buying a gift card and buying it through that way. But if I keep getting sick and missing work like this, I won't even have money to spend on there. So potato potato. Uh, it'll be better for me though to spend some time off of there and actually enjoy the things that I did already buy on there. Kind of like consume them and because it's a terrible loop of just buying things and the fear of missing out and saying, well, I can't start enjoying them until I have this thing and I can't start thinking about this until I have this thing. Terrible habit. Gotta actually spend some time to enjoy the things that I bought with my money. Read the books. I've been flipping through the books, but I haven't been like absorbing them and reading them, getting obsessed with them. Like I should be. I haven't been absorbing and listening to the CDs that I've been obtaining like I should be, but I have been more so. I've also been getting back into Spotify, something I've been wanting to be doing aside from the point of uploading the podcast to Spotify, which it is now up there. Uh, just want to get back into there too. Listen to all the old playlists I had when I was first working on all my projects. Have revisiting them, making new playlists. I think I might get Spotify Premium. I do think it's a good investment. Not a good investment to rely that on being your only source of music, however. Because songs do get removed from Spotify, but I do appreciate how Spotify does it. They don't do what YouTube does, where they just tell you that unavailable videos are hidden, and they don't show you what videos are like gone, so you just have to guess which ones are gone one day. Spotify shows you which ones that are no longer on Spotify. They like gray them out, so you could try to find them on another website. I really, really, really appreciate that. It's a really good feature, uh, and I really like it. I really, really, really like it. Um, but nevertheless, the song is no longer on there. Still got to listen to ads, so it's kind of the same idea with movies. My album buying habits is if I really 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 love a movie, no reason I shouldn't get the physical version copy of it. I want a version of it that can't be modified, that can never be revised. I want a version for me, myself, and I. Version that I can lend to friends. A version that I can have for myself on my shelf. I could absorb all of its special features and comfort and quiet in my own home. Never have to connect to Wi-Fi. If the sun comes over and it wipes all the hard drives on the planet, I'll still have my movie. Same thing with music. Not to mention, because it's so nice to just have music playing around in the background of a house. Like, when's the last time you ever heard that? Usually never, because everybody's got AirPods in and stuff. Alrighty, sorry about that. I'm not sure exactly where I cut off, but I'm pretty sure I cut off just at the end, just about at the end of my last thought. I believe it was something about buying media that I truly do love, like books and CDs, and just having a copy of it for myself. And I thought my ears took a turn for the worse because it was getting harder to hear, and then I realized that the batteries in my mic just died. I have headphones hooked up to my microphone so I could hear how my voice sounds because I really cannot hear anything right now. So that was what was that's what had happened. Uh, I really do need to get a mic that doesn't require batteries, but I want to get one that's hooked up to my PC because I like the convenience of walking around with it. It's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to do some research on the mic that I really do need, which was another stipulation that I didn't bring up. Is I'm done buying on Amazon, but I'm done buying like shit that clearly doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter as much as I think it does. I need to save it for just necessities strictly, like stuff that I can't get at a store, like proper microphones, which is something I need. I need something that isn't. I use a USB Razer Siren Mini for my computer on a $14 microphone stand. That's just not going to cut it anymore. It's not bad, but it doesn't sound great, and I want to do bigger and better audio things. So I'm gonna need a bigger and better mic. Bigger and better mic needs a big and bad interface. Probably gonna need a big bad windscreen. That's probably about it. I'm a low maintenance kind of guy. I don't have very high standards. I just want things that work. Um, but no, I just gotta start spending my money wiser, controlling what goes into my body. Read more books, watch more movies. It's all the classic New Year's resolution things. But I'm just trying to. My method for success is I make them extremely specific, so I don't mess up later on. But I think that just might do that. That just might do it for this episode of TTIO. I really want to wrap this up before my batteries die again because I'm probably gonna have to go to the store later today. I probably have to go get stuff for cough drop. Probably have to go get cough drops anyways. I don't have any more cough drops in the house. We're out of Sudafed, but I guess I don't need Sudafed because I don't have ear pains anymore. Also because they're gonna make me sign a bunch of stuff because they're gonna think I want to make a meth, which is not true. I don't want to make meth. I just want to feel better. Maybe meth will make me feel better. I'll think about it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.